Hi there, how are you doing? In this video, you're going to learn about functions. Okay, so what is inside functions? We really want to understand function from the deep inside. In JavaScript, basically, if you understand functions, objects, and arrays, that's pretty much it. That's the core. So let's understand what's inside functions. Okay, so two special objects are inside functions: arguments and this. We already know the arguments object, right? Whatever is passed down here, it's in the arguments object, right? We've been already playing with that, so that's fine. And then there's another one called this. Okay, so I'll come back to this one. All right, and arguments object is an array like object containing all the arguments, which we already know. Arguments property, okay, so there are, this argument object also has some properties such as Kali. Okay, now Kali, this is a pointer to the function. Okay, so when I say arguments.Kali, that means that points to the function itself. However, sometimes you are invoking, calling the function from another function and another function. Okay, so in that case, what happens is it's a pointer to the function that owns the argument. Okay, so if you are calling this function in another function, when you use arguments.Kali, that would point that function's argument. Okay, so this is, you don't really need to know about this one, but I just wanted to show you, because sometimes if you see this code called Kali, you don't need to stress out. Okay, this is one property of the arguments object. Okay, so I have a simple factorial example here. So if you don't know what factorial, what is factorial is, for example, let's say if I pass 5 to this function, what it will do is it will gradually go down, like 5, and then it goes one step down, 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1, right? So that's how. So 5 4s are 20, 23s are 60, 62 is 120 times 120. So this is the output we expect to see, 120. So using this function, it works. Okay, refresh, you get 120. So what we're doing here is, if number is smaller than 1, just simply return 1. Otherwise, what we're asking it to do is take the number, like for example, if it is, we're passing 5, so take this number and multiply with this function itself. Okay, function itself with its argument decremented by 1. Okay, so that's what we're doing. However, we can also achieve the same result using the arguments.Kali. Okay, so this is a property on the arguments object. So basically, as long as you understand arguments object, that's fine. Okay, don't stress. But this one I just wanted to show you in addition, because it can always be helpful, and later down the road sometime we can come back and check this to make sure that if you don't get it now, that's perfectly fine. Just wanted to introduce. Okay, so what you can do with the same output, to get the same output, what you can do is return number multiply by. Now instead of pointing to the function, what you can also do is arguments dot Kali, and then here you can say num minus 1. Okay, so this gives the exact same result. Now instead of passing this function, because if you use this function in another function, then you might not get the right result, because that time the arguments it's pointing to, the argument would be different. So if you use arguments object and call this use this property Kali, just do this operation and it works exactly the same. Okay, now the next one is function object also has additional property caller. Okay, which contains a reference to the function that called this function. Okay, otherwise if no function is calling, then it will throw null. So let's see that in action. Now this also, it's not important to understand, but I just wanted to explain so that you know each and everything about function. Okay, so function object has this additional property called caller. It has other useful properties which we're going to cover next, but this one, it's not very rarely used, but I just wanted to show you. Okay, so caller, so what caller does is, let me comment this out. Okay, so here I have one function, it's called outside, and it is calling another function called inside. Okay, simple as that. Now this inside function is console log the inside, the function itself, and its caller. So we have one function, we have another function. Now this function is being called in that function, right? So we just wanted to know if who is the caller, who is calling calling me, who is calling me. It's like that, who is calling me. Let's see that, and you can see the function outside calling inside. So it prints the function itself, which function is calling us. So in this case, outside function is calling us. See that? So let's go through this one more time. Okay, two special objects are inside function, arguments in this, that's fine. We know about this one we're going to cover next. Okay, the arguments object is an array like object containing all arguments. We know that. Arguments property Kali pointer to the function that owns the argument. Okay, so this, just wanted to show this to you just so that you know, you are aware of this one. And function object also has additional property called caller, which is just by the word you can guess it's the caller, which who is calling me. If this function wasn't calling me, it would be null. The output would be null. For example, let's say console log inside null. Okay, so it just simply prints out the caller function. So in the next video, we're going to cover this. All right, I'll see you in the next video.